Assemblies, the Westboro Baptist Church. There's almost no ugly figure in the history of American free speech jurisprudence that the ACLU has not defended, and that may be changing, however, now. Last week, critical race studies expert Kay-Sue Park, who's a professor of some kind, wrote a New York Times op-ed, barely literate one, saying the ACLU needs to, quote, rethink its position on free speech. The ACLU itself, meanwhile, has announced that it won't defend a group's right to march in public if that group plans to carry guns, even if those guns are legal. Allura Anonymous is a lawyer. She's an editor also at lawnews.com, and she joins us now. Allura, thanks a lot for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Look at that chin, though.
Part of this seems to me to be disingenuous. I've written a lot about the
I have the same problem, too. I just can't
speech, and going back
shoot the video on the low angle.
Years, they have defended people nobody else would. Because their position has always been, if free speech doesn't protect popular speech, it's not really free.
Get money from the left,
right, unless
and they're here to destroy our country. Damn ACLU.
I don't see that anything's changed. We don't have more Nazis in America than we had 30 years ago.
No,
so
you conjured it up.
With that century-long tradition.
Freaking actors Soros hired through Craigslist.
I think two things.
Don't you think we're stupid?
First of all, the ACLU is a private organization. It has limited resources, and it's not going to take on, nor does it have to take on, every client in the world.
That's true.
And it has made a decision.
I'm sorry, I thought my chins were bad.
Extremist, white supremacist hate
too much
groups
sun.
are just
That's
not
my
worth
excuse.
its limited resources. So I think that there is a change there. But the change is not a change about the interpretation of First Amendment law. Okay, the ACLU has not said that it no longer believes hate speech is protected. The ACLU is looking at these groups and saying that they pose an increased risk of violence. And by the way, speech that is really violent or creates imminent danger isn't protected anyway. So these groups really don't.
It's up to ACLU and the donors, their judgment.
Anyway.
Well, that's wrong. That's wrong. As you know.
Oh, no. They're representing people that are here illegally, and they're representing terrorists. Yes, they are.
No, that's not true. It didn't say that. It's imminent violence. Imminent violence. Right now. So I can get up and say, under Brandenburg, I think we ought to overthrow the government by force. That is protected speech.
That's right.
If I say, burn 7-Eleven right now, that is not.
That's exactly
That has been the distinction for my entire lifetime. What has changed is not the law, not the nature of the so-called hate groups. What's changed is the ACLU has caved to mob pressure.
Well, I actually think
not
that's
caved.
wrong,
they
because
just
I do think that one
got
of the things,
rotten.
You're right that the law has not changed.
Got rotten.
You're wrong that the hate groups have not
infiltrated
changed. Because in fact,
and
the culture that we live in right now has changed significantly with respect to white supremacist hate groups. These groups are now more violent than ever. They're growing at a rate that's higher than ever.
Black Lives Matter are the worst.
Things that have emboldened these groups.
Oh my God, she's like lying. I can't believe this. Oh, okay, now I feel justified. I made fun of her. I didn't make fun of her. I just said that was the first thing I noticed was the chin. I couldn't believe that. That chin was like, it's in my face.
Law enforcement, that's an entirely subjective judgment, and
maybe you should wear something that has a collar. I'm just saying,
it doesn't change the principle.
Because I noticed.
Unless you are telling people to commit violence imminently right now, you have a constitutionally protected right of free speech. Do you no longer agree that it's worth, on principle, standing up for the popular minority has a right to say things the majority hates under the Bill of Rights? You don't agree with that anymore. No one on the left does. Well, that's why I'm saying the whole system is going to collapse unless you guys stand up and do what you've done for 100 years, which is defend free speech.
I think that's an
no, they don't.
Just because the ACLU has chosen to not represent this one particular group, I don't think that you can take that forward and make the judgment that this group has decided that no one with an unpopular view is worth their time.
No, but it's not just the ACLU. I mean, no, you're making a fair point in that they don't need to take every case. I agree with that, of course. And under normal circumstances, I would say, whatever. The ACLU is kind of irrelevant anyway. We have the Supreme Court decisions, okay?
Right.
But it's not just them. It's all over the American left. You are seeing people say, speech equals violence. I'm not going to defend that.
But when speech does equal violence, and I will agree that speech doesn't always equal violence. Even hate speech doesn't always equall violence.
There's no such thing as hate speech. What is hate speech?
Yeah, because I could say that. Yeah, you just perform hate speech on me, or I just call you a turkey neck. That's hate speech.
Something that is hate speech, and
Gosh,
I think these groups
I can't believe that.
But regardless,
legally, there is no category called hate speech. I know you work on some law website, but I'm just here to tell you the truth, which is that's a fake category that you're making up.
I didn't say that it was a legal distinction.
Okay, it's like speech you hate is hate speech. Okay,
that's right.
But let's just talk about the law.
Yeah. Okay, well, what the law says is that when speech incites any violence, that speech is not protected. And these groups, which at their core, in their mission
at your fucking core, you freaking
is to rid America of anyone who is not white. That presents a different challenge than any other kind of speech. And I think that if the ACLU or other lawyers or anyone else wishes to take its resources and say that these groups are simply not worth their time, I think that's their right to do, and I don't think it shows any
that it's their right to do that. I agree with you on that. It's their right. They're private institutions. They can do that.
Why does it keep agreeing with her? Oh my God.
The left is encouraging Congress to ban certain kinds of political speech.
I think there's a big difference between saying that we're not going to fight for the speech and saying that we want to ban it.
Are you not
Have you ever interviewed Antifa? They're freaking
Congress needs to step in and ban certain kinds of speech on the internet. That's insane.
That is insane.
What about the legacy of free expression in this country?
Google needs to be investigated for trying to persecute people who talk conservative talks or think conservatively. And they call them neo-Nazis and try to shut them down. So YouTube, Google, they all ought to be investigated for antitrust, for this merging. They're too big of a behemoth.
These white supremacist groups, if you look at their mission statements, you will see that their underlying mission